being what I wanted to be as an MMA guy.
And, and here's the deal, Ariel. You and I may never know.
Yeah.
We may never know the bottom line of that story, as Austin would say, the bottom line of that. What do you think the bottom line is going to be for CM Punk? When do you think he's – now, obviously – obviously, I can't say that. I am of the belief that he will fight in 2016 for UFC. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
To me, it would be smart to put him – he doesn't need to be on UFC 200. He needs to be on another show to be a good a support match, semifinal, something tangible, but not the main event.
Sure.
But something on a card that needs underneath help, if that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they don't need him for UFC 200. I wouldn't put him as the main event. He needs to be on pay-per-view, obviously. I don't even know. You don't really have to put him on the co-main event, to be honest. I would put him like the second fight on pay-per-view out of five fights. And, of course, he had a setback. One thing that's interesting is that he gets a lot of heat. I see fans saying, like, I can't believe what's taking so long. This is such a joke. Why isn't he fighting? That announcement, if memory serves me correct, was either December 5th or 6th. It was UFC 181. It was the 5th was either the Friday or the Saturday. It was that weekend of 2014. And Punk has always been, very straightforward, and I think has kept his word. And so has his coach, Duke Rufus. They said that they needed a year. So we haven't even approached that year yet. And then when you take into account that he suffered a serious shoulder injury, well, you got to give the guy a break. I mean, he suffered a setback, so you got to add on a couple months there. But I believe that if all goes well, if he remains healthy from here on out and he's feeling better, I believe I can confidently say that this time next year he will have his one fight, maybe two by then, but he will have stepped inside the octagon. We'll see what happens. And I think they have to do it the right way. I know they're filming a documentary series with him, shot by a great producer named Rory Karp, who's done some amazing work. And I think that this is going to be brilliant because they've been following him essentially from the get-go. People may be down on him now. People may be, saying that he's a fraud and all that stuff. But I can guarantee you that once they announce his fight and once we get to, 4 weeks before his fight, there's going to be an incredible amount of interest in this story because this is a guy who, I don't have to tell it to you, but he has no, background in martial arts. He left a world that he was very comfortable in, making a lot of money, and he's testing himself as he approaches 40 years old. I mean, this is the kind of story that men dream of. This is what we all say, what if? So, good for him. If he gets to step inside that octagon, that's a victory in its own right. And if he can pick up a win, even better. And then we'll see where he goes from there. But I feel for him for a degree because every time he tweets me or I tweet something about him, I get all these, these people who jump on calling him a fraud and a phony and all this stuff. But,
farther,
let the guy be.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Farthest thing from it, he's not a fraud. CM Punk is not a phony. He left a 7-figure job. He has more courage than 90% of the people you'll ever meet because he left some stuff behind that you just can't reach out and regenerate. I think he's going to do well. How great a fighter he's going to be, I don't know. I know this. He's highly intelligent. He'll be very skilled, or he'll be very well trained. He'll be in great shape. He'll understand his game plan. He's a competitor. He's always been the underdog. I think he thrives on being that underdog and being told that he cannot accomplish something because he never had the traditional look that people in his profession, his old profession, needed to have, especially as a fan favorite. And at one time, hey, don't anybody kid yourself. He was the most popular competitor in WWE, and I'm not disrespecting John Cena at all. I hired John Cena, but this guy gets it. So I think he'll do great, and I'd love to have him on the podcast sometime to simply talk about MMA because I know he doesn't want to talk about wrestling, and I don't blame him.